Hey there guys, what's going on? It's Gale right here, back on the 5-9 channel, and we are here to discuss the finale, the end to all ends. I don't know where I'm going with this. AOT 139, initial thoughts. The leaks are out, we've seen them, we've somewhat digested them. Of course, we're gonna obviously do a bigger and better, arguably more in-depth review on the 5-9 Twitch channel later tomorrow, so be sure to check it out. Of course, the link to the Twitch channel should be in the description down below. But with me today, we have Troko to, give our initial thoughts. Say hello, Troko.
Hello, AOT is garbage. How's it going?
There you go. There's the initial one. If you guys like this, be sure to like the video. Comment what did you guys think of the leaks if you have seen them. Obviously, major spoilers coming your way. So be warned. If you haven't seen them, come back tomorrow once once you've seen the chapter, read it, digested it for yourselves. But yeah, let's get right into it. So Troko, 139, after 138, we were kind of like, there's a lot to answer for, right? There's a lot of questions that need answering and a lot of things that need wrapping up. And arguably, nothing happened. I mean, something happened, but nothing got answered in return. What do you think about that, Troko? How did you feel about, the jump from 138 to 139? We had a lot of our hopes in this chapter to kind of recover from the issues that were kind of left off of 138. I started appreciating 138 a bit more over time, giving it a couple of days to digest it and whatnot, but 139 just took it, chucked it into a paper crumpled ball and threw it into the garbage can. Troko, let me know what you think.
Yeah, so the this whole last entire arc, I've been questioning everything they've been doing. Throwing Heaven into there for no reason. Heaven's, because I know it's paths, right?
Yep.
But the whole idea of them kind of being able to somewhat interact in that Heaven type thing for the audience, complete stupid plot device that was only used to give it a happy ending with Levi and Sasha, Connie, and Jean. That's the only plot point it had. You didn't need it for the Titan Shifters to come back. You did not need a weird Heaven thing. You didn't need paths. You could have just brought the Titans back. Nothing would have changed. So this whole stupid, oh, hey, look, it's a happy ending. It shouldn't have been a happy ending. Eren should have just killed everyone, crushed everything. What's changed now? Nothing. Eldians are still viewed as, like, the devils. Yeah. Just because a lot of the world's been wiped out, people are going to rebuild, and they're going to be like, yeah, oh my god, remember when 80% of our population was wiped out because of the Eldians? Yeah, we should probably kill them. Yeah, they don't have walls anymore, they don't have Titans, but we should probably still get rid of them. They kind of, killed everyone. So, Heaven was stupid. Levi should have been dead. I'm glad Flock is dead. Flock should have died a lot sooner. I'm angry, alright? This chapter, it's a happy shonen ending.
Yeah.
Eren's tier 3 simp, dude. Like, he's
okay, you
so
know who Eren reminded me of in this chapter? Obito Uchiha from Naruto.
Oh my god, it's a Naruto reference. Yeah, so he's a tier 3 simp. He wants Mikasa to love him, which
I personally don't really have an issue with him loving Mikasa. It was kind of,
oh yeah, we had more build up.
It wasn't apparent. There was some build up, all right. I mean, we say there was none, but there was a very teeny tiny bit. But the thing is, the way they did it and the way they were trying to execute it, or Isayama was trying to execute it, just didn't. It just doesn't. What? Like it just.
The build-up was for Eren to care about Mikasa, and they probably would have ended up together. Not like that. Last chapter was when they threw in, yeah, we actually lived together for like 3 years. That was never talked about before. 138 just threw that in just so we'd have something for it to be like, ah, haha, look at Big Brain Isayama, look at his plot telling device. Bro, he thinks so far ahead. A whole chapter, dude, they lived together. Ah, you must love her. Tier 3 and everything. Buys her bathwater. God, that was so stupid. Like, I get it. A lot of people have been saying Eren's always been known as kind of a cryberry throughout the series. He'll get very emotional. Yeah. But yeah, he was. But his entire character arc was him actually stepping up, taking charge. We were all correct in a way. Remember the scene where he like bitch slapped Armin around the table and
the table scene, of course. Yeah,
it was all to make them like angry and hate him, right? Yeah. Same thing for him. Killing his own mom, based on the initial, translation.
Not the paradox. The paradox. I mean, the whole thing was
so garbage.
The whole thing was BS, even with Grisha, in my opinion. Like, When we saw that with Grisha, what chapter was it? 133, 134, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, where he could like see him in paths because he knew he'd be there.
And he told him like kill the family and everything. I was like, that what? Why are you bringing this into this all of a sudden? Like, huh? And then
that's already enough of a bad situation.
And then now we do the same thing again with his mother, and it's like, and it's such a throwaway thing as well. It's just like, oh, I wanted to save. I knew Berthold would be very important, so I decided to save him and killed my mom. And it's just like one page, and boom, that's it. And it's like, are you serious? That
like,
was
are we
the
missing
whole.
More?
That was the. That was the whole crux of this
series?
This story was you were angry of the Titans because they killed your mom, and then you just say in a throwaway line that you were low-key the reason why you killed your mom?
Not even low-key, you told the Titan like, nah, leave the terrorist kid alone. Kill my mom.
It's just like it's just baffling to me because for me personally, I can see why some people like it. Okay, I think there is slight positives to it in the sense of like I enjoyed that last moment with Levi, you know, the holding to the hearts thing. And whatnot.
That's stupid, Gale. Why does heaven exist, Gale? Give me an actual reason for heaven paths to exist in AOT.
You're not wrong.
Just exist for a happy
it's kind of
ending.
like when I was talking about this on Twitter and on my own personal stream about AOT and Dolling and the Franks and the similarities where 3/4 of the manga or series is A1, like top tier, like, you know, arguably anime of the season kind of, or anime of like top tier, and then the last quarter just falling off. In retrospective, considering how badly it was falling off, the ending did have some tiny positives, but it still felt like, at least in Darling and the Franks, something happened. They reincarnated, you know, good ending, everybody was happy, whatever, yada yada yada. Here, the war didn't seem like it ended. They were still negotiating with the Eldians or something. It was like, what? I thought the whole point of Eren killing himself and everything was to end the war. So, excuse me? Like, there was no progress made. Did you feel that as well, Troko? Like, I didn't feel anything was achieved. Like, no,
nothing was.
Nothing was wrapped up. You know, when you have an ending, and this is the biggest problem I have with people who said, oh, it's an all right ending. You know, they ruined somebody's character development. They ruined somebody's. They didn't answer any questions or left some questions unanswered. They made no progress. And I'm there like, well, that's not a good ending. That's an ending that's incomplete. That's an ending that was just done for the sake of being done. Like, it didn't make, like, it's not a good ending in that regards. You know, there's some endings like Demon Slayers and whatnot. Yes, it's not a fulfilling ending, but it is a wrapped up, you know, everything is done and dusted, and, you know, it's neatly tied into one package. A simple package, but it's in a package. This just feels like the package is open and everything is just spread out around the table. And and only a few things are within that package still, right? It's just not good enough. I'm sorry, it's just not good enough. And I don't know what the reason is. Apparently, he decided to change the ending due to the fans' reactions to the original ending, which I personally disagree on. If you had an original ending and you said from the get-go, you know, you had a point A, point B, you can't just go to point C, my G. That's not how this works. Why are you going to point C? Because you don't know how to write towards point C. If you knew how to write towards point B, you write towards point B. So, yeah, it's just odd. Troko, you go on. Go ahead. Right, what do you think?
We're led to believe, right? Eren knows the future, right? And I mean, he does, but he did things through the entire series that would lead him to that future. Did he not realize that the future would actually be worse? Because the Eldians, again, are probably going to be exterminated. Nothing actually happened to benefit the Eldians. You took away their defense and you made them, by far, the most hated group of people in the remaining 20,000 maybe on the Earth. Because I think it was 80,000 were wiped out based on the initial translations I saw, something like that.
Yeah.
He said like 80,000 people are gone now. So, cool. The 20% that remain, if we're assuming, let's say the world has a population of, do you know what it was? I really random. In World War II era, 1940s, do you know what the world population was?
I want to say it was like 3 billion maybe?
Yeah, let's just go with like 3 billion. I'm not good at math. You're the robot man here. What is like 20% of 3 billion?
20% of 3 billion.
Oh yeah, that'd be like what, 600 million?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, let's just say 600 million. Wait, no.
No,
yeah,
no.
6 million, 60 million.
20%. That's 150, I think. Because 10% of 3 billion is 300 million. So no, you're right. 600 million. You're actually right. Sorry, my math is off. Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
I think I said 6 million. It's 60 million, 600 million. I don't really care.
600 million.
The point is, let's just say they have that. Even if they had 1 billion people in the world of AOT, right? Not in the walls. In the walls, they have, maybe like 1,000 people now, right? At the very most, probably. I don't know. They've repopulated. There's a lot of probably kids, but the kids are going to be, they're pretty easy targets in a war. You have potentially, 600 million people, 60 million, 10 million people, all at war now with a group of, a century-old technology people. The coolest thing they have are missile launchers. That's it. Also with the flattening, the rumbling, your ODM gear is worthless. What, you're gonna shoot your ODM gear into their head? No, you just wiped out the island. Tensions are never going down. I refuse to believe that happy ending where it's like where they did the time skip and they're on the table or whatever that was with historian or kids. Nah. You're being hunted down. The remaining people are putting an end to that island. They're like, okay, those devils have gone too far. That's what's happening.
Let's not talk about Historia as well.
Oh my god, Historia, dude. Oh.
See, basically, so what they did with Historia was basically say, oh yeah, I agreed with Eren, I just didn't do anything, and I decided to go and, hook up with this farmer dude, and it's like, you made her important for, like, a solid arc, and then just threw her development into the freaking
hey, you're
trash.
The queen. You have a really important bloodline. You can... If you and Eren touch, you can do literally anything in the world. Just like, all right, that's cool. I kind of want to get knocked up and just go live on a farm with like these orphan children.
And no, this farmer dude also bullied you when you were a kid, apparently. So that's fine as well. And it's like, what?
Bro, Isayama was told by his parents if you bully the girl you like, she'll know she likes you. That's how Isayama thinks, dude.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I hate AOT. But yeah, getting back to that time paradox.
Again, like we said, we don't want to completely bash the chapter.
No, I'm bashing it.
Okay, never mind. Choco just wants to bash it. I still think
because if he knows the future, he should have been like, oh, okay, so there's still like 10 million, 100 million people that are going to come and kill our island.
Maybe, okay, this is a good question. Do you think maybe he couldn't see beyond his death? Maybe.
No, I don't think so, because, like, when Gabby, popped off, which, first of all, if he was gonna kill Eren anyways, let Gabby do it. I think AOT should have ended there. That should have actually been the final chapter, is as Zeke reached out to him, his head was blown off, and then it's up to interpretation. That would have been, I feel, a much better ending. It's at the peak of a war, and it ends right there, and you just have to imagine it. I think that would have been better. If you're gonna kill him anyways, let Gabby do it, but I think after he died, again, this is where Paz is still kind of weird. Is it heaven? Your souls are there? Is Eren still permanently in Paz? That's why you can kind of have the weird bird thing going on or whatnot. God. So when he was dead, should he have been able to see further down in Paz? How? Because I'm assuming he was dead, and then he showed Armin everything in Paz, because when Armin left Paz, he saw Eren's decapitated head, right?
Yeah.
He still saw the future past that. He was able to show Armin, I believe. Did he show Armin like his story? I think he showed Armin his story, right?
Yeah, he showed Armin.
How could he have seen that if he was dead? It doesn't make a lot of sense unless he could still see everyone else's timeline in Paz. Again, a lot of stuff is left unanswered. It might have been answered. I might just be wrong about Paz, but I don't believe we've had that specifically answered. So I think after he was dead, he was still in Paz because Ymir was, I guess, allowing him to do it. I don't know, man. It's
a bit odd.
Like,
okay,
dude.
It's just like there's so many loose ends that just never got wrapped up. Like I said, I personally okay. Initial thoughts on like how they could have maybe made this a bit better potentially is IMO actually just do full-on reincarnation. Let Eren pull off the rumbling, and what happens after the rumbling is like boom, new world, new people, just start all over again, start from zero basically, kind of thing. I think that would have been better than what we got here, but of course with Eren's head chopped off in the last chapter, that was very unlikely to happen. Another possibility was that this was just pull it off. Just make it a dream sequence. It wouldn't have made any sense. Would have made super weird, but it would have been better, arguably, in my opinion, because at least it would have been like, okay, that's why it didn't make any sense, because it's stupid, kind of thing, right? I don't know. This, it's just like, I guess you could say this is the best of a bad situation, but even the best out of the bad situation was the worst situation that could have possibly happened, arguably.
Yeah, how I would have changed it probably is I think it should have been a time loop type thing where it would have only ever ended if he did the rumbling and actually killed all life on Earth besides Paradise.
Yeah.
Where that's why it actually gave him reason to try to have Armin and because I hate him, because without their hate they couldn't defeat him. So in the first timeline we were watching normally, he couldn't go through with the rumbling, and then he wakes up back at the tree with only 5 seconds of his memory there. All he knows is when he unlocks, the founding titan again.
Yeah.
Then he gets a glimpse into something is wrong. I need to have them stop me from what I'm doing. And then every time he gets a bit closer, trying to drive their hate, but as soon as Mikasa breaks down over him, Eren hating her, he, in his mind, he automatically starts changing. He's too weak to go through with the rumbling. He wakes up the tree again. Something like that, rather than, oh my god, I love her. She can never love another man. I'll break down. I pledge $500 on her Patreon. I'm the only one who bought that tier. I'm a tier 3 sub. I gift 20 tier 1 subs a day, Mikasa. Why won't you love me? It just took his character and just ruined it. There was no build up to it other than they lived in a forest house together.
Also, the bird thing was some absolute BS, especially with people trying to relate it to the birds that just randomly fly around in five random chapters. Please don't try and do that.
It represented freedom, and AOT has always been about freedom with or without Eren. The wings of freedom of the scouts, dude. It's how it's always been. It's not necessarily Eren. I get Paz can reach out, he can control animals and life because, season 2 opening and that's the thing explained, Paz connects all life type thing, which, why Eldians and animals only? Does it not connect to Marlians? I don't know if that was ever explained. That's a different subject. Paz is just weird. I get it. Technically, I guess he could try to embody the soul of a bird temporarily. That's still kind of stupid. I don't know, man.
It's just a shame because it's just character assassination for Eren. It just feels like nothing progressed. It just feels like no questions were completely answered. Maybe one or two at best, but even then, arguably, there's still some.
Question: is the series over? Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's your one question answer. I really want to see what he does with the high school one now, or the school-based one, because that's probably going to be a better ending, hopefully.
Well, that's I don't think that's actually done by him.
Is it not done by him?
No, I think it was a spin-off.
Oh,
if we're talking about spin-offs, though, I really, really would love if he were to just give us a dark ending where he actually completes the rumbling. He comes out of the big titan. He just looks onto the ocean. He sends all the colossal titans into the ocean to kill them, and that's it. They're on Paradise. They're just realizing, well, the world's kind of dead. And then Eren, if he wants to just kill himself and just will himself to stop being alive, or something, or retreat into paths GT Goku at the end, right? Where Ymir's his little Shenron, and he just goes into the past. Something like that. Give us a really dark ending where there's no hope, it's only Paradise, but... there's just so much things I could do. But yeah, back to the thing. If you ever did want to do the spin-offs, I think if you were to revisit the original concept for Attack on Titan, that looked really interesting. I'd be really down for if we had a whole series. I think there's another series actually, before the fall. I think it is an actual full manga series. I don't think it's done by him, so I don't really care about it. And I don't know if it's actually canon anymore. I don't know if it got invalidated by season 3 stuff, but I've read it long enough, Gil.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. I can't disagree with you on what you said. I think for the most part, like you've mentioned, there's a lot of ways they could have done it better. I think the problem is a lot of it came from when they started introducing all these path stuff and whatnot. I think even without the path stuff, I'd say this was way back. I think before the War for Paradise arc and whatnot, I think if they had... from then on to now, I think has been where the downfall kind of started slowly but surely, because Isayama basically just started adding these complex plot points and whatnot, and I feel it could have been. It's just there's so much I want to say, but it's just like it's too much to say in like one mini like initial thoughts video. But I feel like overall, as I said, like it just feels like Eren overall could have been done better in my opinion. I think his random breakdown, if it had been signified in some way, like he was having some miniature breakdowns where his emotional side was coming at some showing at some points, where he was getting mad or raging at some point, or his more emotional takes were coming in, maybe then I could have believed this whole Mikasa Eren situation a bit more. But it just feels a lot of it just starts feeling tacked on in the last, especially in the last couple of chapters, from like 125 to now. Basically, it's just been like tacked on. I know I was talking to Choco about this, about when we stopped at 120, because I've just binge read the manga over the last month, and I got to 120, and I told Choco like it's great, but it's noticeable Isayama is having issues writing between chapters and getting to a point, because there's just plot holes and missing points and just overall just missing pieces of the puzzle. And it's like, oh, it'll get answered later on, but it just never fully got answered ever. It was just like, oh, we kind of gonna answer it, but we're gonna give you more questions as well to kind of figure out. And it's like, but I just want you to wrap up this thing nice and neatly. You don't have to keep adding questions and questions and questions, because what's going to happen is once you approach the ending, it's going to be really hard to wrap up so many things into this one nice package, like I said at the start, right? Yeah, it's just weird. Of course, like we said, we'll probably do a proper in-depth review later on, tomorrow probably on stream, which we will be translating it over back onto YouTube. So if you're interested, be sure to keep an eye out for that. Choco, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Just sad, and also it was mentioned at the end, again, we're off like a fan translations type thing right now,
yeah.
But Mikasa was the chosen one just because Ymir decided, because I guess she saw it, her and Fritz in Eren and Mikasa. That just kind of felt like forced.
Oh god, the romanticization of Fritz and Ymir was so awkward, man.
And then for some reason, Mikasa being the one to have Ymir stop doing things. I don't know why Mikasa was just so plot heavy literally right at the end, when it wasn't really built up for her to be that. Like, of course she's always plot essential, but for her to then just become like Jesus at the end in the final like 5 pages, like, oh, okay, can we have build up? Like, this ending could have worked more if we had like another 20 chapters. Also Eren, if his character wasn't crushed.
Yeah. It's odd. Let us know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? Of course, leave a like, of course, if you enjoyed this video. I know we kind of went on a bit of a rant more for the most part, where we were just slewing everything from the
manga. Looking for a rant, keep an eye on the Twitch, because unironically, Ignat and I will be probably doing a 3 to 5 hour like general overview, because there are so many things I want to talk about. I want to talk about Flock, I want to talk about Hanji, I want to talk about Levi, I want to talk about Zeke. There's so much I want to talk about, and Ignat too. It'll legitimately be 3 to 5 hours that we're going to talk about.
I'll probably be in there as well. Yeah, I'll probably be in there as well.
But you don't have our burning hatred.
But I'm not too mad like these guys, because personally I have not been as attached to it. Like I said, I only got back into the anime 2 years ago, because personally I wasn't the biggest fan of season 1's pacing, and even the manga, I had my issues with it. So I was like, yeah, I can tell. Like, overall I'd still give this like a 7.5 maybe out of 10. Like, the first thirds were fantastic. It's just the ending is absolutely atrocious. Like, I wish I could just stop at where they stopped at season 3 and then call that a day, because that was a 9 out of 10 anime for me at that point. But what can I say? Choco, any rating you want to give it, maybe?
If you comment spoilers in the chat, I'm hiding you from the channel, and I give it a if we're like in a serious way, if we're taking a look at AOT as a whole, I'd probably still have it like an 8 out of 10, because this entire last arc still a lot of questionable. Hanji and Flock, I question greatly. I'll go into more detail with that. Levi, same thing. everything before that is still like a 10 out of 10 to me. It's just this is like it's taking it down. The entire series like it's 7, 8 out of 10. Sad.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you claim spoilers, I'm banning you from the channel, dude.
Like, okay, look, we are just giving our initial thoughts on the ending. The ending is, like we said, is definitely at best you could say average, and even then I'm being very generous with it. But the rest of the series is still very good. But yeah, let us know in the comment section down below what do you guys think as per. Leave a like, subscribe for more anime related content, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.